Cool. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Our topic for today is how abuse affects one's life. And so we heard oftentimes about abuse. And just imagine that, like, as an infinite being, your very nature is expansion, spaciousness, because this is the way how you connect to the universe, how you connect to the flow energy, how we are all, let's say, in oneness and connected to each other and with everything. And from the moment you are abused, and of course, the purpose of abuse is to make you less. Therefore, you get sort of like separated from the universe. You get separated from your power, and suddenly you start to sort of like question or doubt your capacities. So this is one of the big thing that af I mean, during abuse and after abuse, it affects you really badly. And let's say you start to not believe that you have powers, that you are right, or you have capacities at all. You start to question everything about yourself. You start to question your own awareness, your knowing, your capacities. This is one of the big effects. But another big effect is how it affects your body, because what it does in the body, maybe I mentioned this before, it really, like in each and every cell and molecules of the body, there is a system, let's call it the lock system. And what it does, it allows each and every cells of your body to be able to receive, to be able like receive energy, also to forward energy to other cells, also to hold on to the energy, to use it for itself in the like later in the future, and also to generate energy by itself. So these are the four capacities. And when you lock the abuse into the body, it starts to sort of like hurt or disable or limit this system. So these four capacities of each and every cell in your body starts to not work properly. For example, some of your cells or tissues or organs will not be able to receive energy, or some of them will not be able to maintain, like hold on to energy. Some of them will not be able to generate energy, or they won't be able to forward the energy. So it's just keep building up, and it will become sort of like too intense, too stressed. And it creates illnesses or aging in the body, in the skin. So the we have this 3-day body class, I mean, abuse class, the breaking out of the prison of abuse. And one of the aim is that to clarify like what are the different forms of abuse. If everyone can see it, then you can see those situations or those people who are abusive with you, who are trying to take power over you, who are trying to control you. So you will start to have a clarity about that. So therefore, you can, let's say, take your boundaries, like not let them keep doing it any longer, because you will recognize that, oh, this person is abusive with me. This person is trying to push me down. This person is trying to control me. This person wants to destroy my life, my relationship, my business, my health, my, let's say, my powers. So one thing is to recognize all these people in your life or those situations in your life. And the other part is that Obviously, like abuse happened to everyone, to lower level or higher level, like not much intense abuse during your whole life or very intense situations that were abusing you. Like, of course, not everyone get physically abused or sexually abused, but there is also emotional abuse or mental abuse. And these different forms of abuse also have a very bad effect on our body, so on our health, and also on us as a being, because it makes us believe that we are not capable, we are not right, we don't have powers, and so on. So therefore, it doesn't allow you, for example, to create that business, to create that financial reality that you desire to have, or it doesn't allow you to create a relationship that would work for you. But because of being abused so many times, maybe you will see, like, look for a partner that actually doesn't work for you, but abusive again and again and again. So if you would like to get out from these cycles where you keep running the same circle again and again, like you keep like creating new businesses and then you fail and then you have to restart, hoping that next time it will work better, but it will work the same way, so it will fail again. Or you start new relationships, but it turns out very soon that the new one is just as well abusive as the previous one was. So it uh, it would be really, really important for everyone to recognize those people who are abusive and those situations that are abusive. This is one thing. And also to recognize what kind of abuse is out there. Like, what is the abuse that they try to apply on you? Like, which area of your life is attacked, or which area of your life they try to destroy. For example, it's your, like, let's say if it's emotional abuse, they try to make you believe that, you are not good enough, you are not lovable. You have to always match other people's expectations. Like, you are not good as you are, but you have to keep changing. You have to keep somehow fit in into other people's expectations or reality. Like, you are not good enough to your parents, to your boss, to your partner, or if there is mental abuse, you are not smart enough, you are not, let's say, intelligent enough, you don't know enough, you are not experienced enough. So, or with physical abuse, they try to break your body, your power, your physical strength, to sort of like physically force you to do something that they want you to do. Or, of course, there is spiritual abuse where they directly, like, it's spiritual or religious abuse, where they target your religious beliefs or your spiritual beliefs or capacities. So, of course, there is the financial abuse when those people are trying to make you believe that you are not capable to create the financial reality for yourself without them, or you yourself alone is not capable to create any better financial reality, but you have to be dependent on these people who are abusing you. So there are so many different forms of abuse. Even there is like the toxic relationship where your partner is sort of like making you stupid, making you look stupid, um, sort of like keep telling you that you are not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not capable, like your sex is not good enough, your body is not good enough, the shape of your body or the color of your hair or anything on your body or anything about you is not good enough. And they keep sort of like hurting you. So again, there are so many different forms of abuse, and It's therefore really important for everyone to recognize who are those people, which are those situations, which are those areas of life where you are abused, and in which form do they abuse you. And the other capacity is that to be able to clear the abuse from your body and from your reality. So even if you've been abused before, in order to avoid staying in a victim mode, staying in this abused reality, physically, energetically, as your being, so to be able to clear it, like all forms of abuse, from the body. And we have processes for that, what you can use on your body and on your energetic systems, on your being. And also you can use it in other people's, like your family members or anyone in your, like any of your clients. You can use these processes to help them to let go of any forms of abuse from their body and the being. And because what happens if you don't let it go, if it's not cleared, then it keeps generating that energy of abuse. So therefore, it will sort of like force you to keep choosing the same way, keep meeting same kind of people or same kind of situations where you will be abused again and again and again. So of course, no one wants to stay abused, like, because even if you break up in a toxic relationship, the next relationship with your next partner will be the same way toxic. You just won't recognize it at the beginning, but after a while, they will show who they are. And if you really would like to avoid such future, you would like to choose something else, a much greater reality or much greater financial reality, then you really need to remove abuse from the body. And of course, a lot of people are, after abuse, they start to see themselves as victim. And they can't even see the possibility to get out of this victimhood, especially in many of these relationships. Women is not brave enough to leave their partner. Maybe they are physically abused, and that's why they don't have that bravery to leave, and they don't see the possibility how they could leave, or they are afraid to ask for help. And also we have sort of like a process for that to remove sort of like or clear this victimhood and give that energy, that capacity to see it, that you are not logged in into any situation. So you can leave that situation, you can leave that partner, and you can create something else by yourself, like, or with help, it doesn't really matter, but it sort of like helps you to get out of that sense or that state of being a victim. Um, do we have any question so far? Anyone would like to ask a question? And also, like one of the amazing thing is that regarding this, like with these processes, that you can even tailor um, to sort of like clear an exact form of abuse. For example, run it exactly on the financial abuse, or run it exactly on emotional abuse, or physical abuse, or sexual abuse, spiritual abuse, all forms of abuse. You can run it exactly on one type of abuse, or you can run it in general. And also the other thing is, as I mentioned, regarding these lock systems can also be damaged as a result of you locking the abuse into your body. That Um, your body's natural capacity is receiving. Your body can receive. It's a natural capacity. That means your body is also connected to the universe. It's connected to the continuous energy flows. And unfortunately, as a result of being abused, even if it's not physical abuse, but the result of abuse is that um, you start to limit your capacity of receiving. Like even you desire to have like a loving relationship, but when someone shows up as a loving partner, as a kind and caring partner, you will be afraid to receive from them because for many reasons. For example, you think always there is a fist behind the kindness because you get used to it that when someone was kind, after that they were really harsh, really angry, or they were hurting you in the next moment. So you can't really allow your body and yourself to receive. So therefore, we have another body process, which is sort of like mm, reactivating your body's capacity of receiving. Um, cool. Let's see questions. Okay, so one question was how to get rid of abuse. Like, as I mentioned, like we have, like, there are two areas where abuse can attach to you. One is that your body. And for that, we have special body processes. You can run it on the body. And another thing is, um, it's your being, your energetic system, your belief systems. That's where also we'll have an effect of the abuse. And that you can clear it energetically. Of course, if you do only energetic clearing, the abuse will stay in your body. So it will invite back abusive situations into your life. Or if you clear it from the body, but not from the being, then they will stay in the being and invite it back into your life. So we have to sort of like work on both areas. And there was another question, how to recognize abuse. Yeah, so we will cover that area in the 3-day class about breaking out of the prison of abuse. Um, Because what happens once you start to realize what are the different forms of abuse and you have more clarity about these dynamics of how people use abuse against you, you start to recognize it. And what are the types of abuse? I just covered it before, but I can, cover it again. So there is like emotional abuse, there is mental abuse. Like emotional abuse, it means, in short, like if you don't act the way I want you to act, then I don't like you or I don't love you. There is mental abuse, which is like most of the time they use it against kids, but also against adults. It's like you're not old enough to understand what we are talking about. Or they can also say it at the workplace that you don't have enough work experience or you are not here at the company for that long time to understand how things are working. There's also financial abuse when, let's say, in a relationship, your partner earns money and you don't, and they don't give you money for anything, like you are fully dependent on them. But also at the workplace, it can be like your boss tells you that you have to stay and work there longer hours or you have to work on weekend, but they don't want to pay for that extra time. Or they say maybe they pay, but if you don't want to do it, then they will look for someone else who will do that. So they sort of like force you into a situation that you wouldn't choose. And they say like, if you don't choose it, you will get fired. Then also, so this was financial abuse. There is, of course, physical abuse when they, let's say, they try to break the strength of your body, like if someone is beating you up, or it can be sexual abuse when you are sexually abused. Mm, there is spiritual abuse when they say um, you everyone is a sinner, like don't have sex because that's a sin, or since the very beginning because of Eve, like the story of Adam and Eve and the apple and the snake, all women are wrong because all women are like came from Eve and she did something like she was taking the apple, whatever is that. So it's also spiritual abuse to make everyone wrong who believes in that religion, like to all women, for example. Or they say you are all a sinner since the very beginning of your life. Therefore, it doesn't really matter if you are man or woman. Simply, you are just wrong from the very beginning, and you can't do anything because you're born like that. You're born from sin. There is no way out. And yeah, of course, there are the toxic relationships when your partner is abusing you in all different forms. It's all kinds of combination of abuse. Also, there is self-abuse when you abuse yourself, for example, with your eating habits, with like abusing your own body by forcing your body to not sleep or to work harder or to do more exercise in the gym or to not eat or not drink, and so on. Or you simply just punish yourself whenever you think you did something wrong that wouldn't match others' expectations. That's also self-abuse. There is also gaslighting when someone is making you sort of like making you not believe your own five senses. Like even if you saw something, you will question that. Even if you heard something, even if you experienced something that they did, you will question that because they play such mind games with you. So this is gaslighting. Um, yeah. So these are the different forms. Hmm. Do we have any question? Anyone would like to hear more about something? Because now I was checking the questions of everyone who joined us or registered, and these were the questions. Yes. For what? But like no asked for the clearing, and also the clearings are part of the class and this free intro. So the main purpose of today was really to show you the different areas how abuse affects one's life. Just imagine that um, you would like to create a financial reality, like you would like to have a nice home, you would like to be able to run your business successfully, you would like to be happy with your partner, or you would like to have a family. So it's a lifestyle. Like everyone would like to have something in their life. But from the moment, let's say, for example, you are emotionally abused, you will take yourself as second. You will never be important enough for yourself to to fulfill any of your dreams because everyone else will be more important than you. Or, if someone is gaslighting you, then from that moment, it really disempowers you. Like you will not know what you want, you will not know even in which situation you are or what's happening with you because you can't believe in any of your senses. Or, of course, if you are sexually abused, like how would you treat your next partner? How could you have a healthy sexual life if you are abused in your sex? It can affect your orgasm, it can deeply affect your body's receiving capacity. So in all areas of life, abuse affects us. It really takes away choice. Like you won't see that you have a capacity to choose, but you will see yourself as the victim of the environment, or you are totally dependent on what happens or what people want around you. So you could never use your powers, your capacities for yourself to create a greater life for yourself, or you will really struggle with that unnecessarily. But once you start to clear it out, then in all areas of your life, you could really excel, get ahead, like have lots of success and make your dreams come true. Because actually, abuse locked into the body and into your being really takes sort of like it costs you a lot of energy and it doesn't really allow you to be present with yourself or present with your choices. Like if you cannot be present, then you cannot really follow the energy of your choice, but you won't even choose anything because why would you choose anything? Because when you don't have a power to make it happen and you won't believe in yourself and you will let everyone else to choose for you and sort of like control your life. So this is why we really would like to sort of like get rid of abuse. Therefore, everyone could make their life much better and have a lot more ease and fun. Cool. So anyone has a question still? I mean, actually, these are the examples, these are the topics that we are going to cover during the class, which is going to be on the 13th, 14th, and 15th of March, somewhere in the Balkan region. The final location is not yet decided, but we will let you know. And we will also send out details about the class. Mm. Okay. Yeah.
Megi, evo,
Yes.
e, da li će u stvari, da li na tečaju, ja sam bila na tečaju, ali evo, pitanja zbog drugih, da li ti telesni procesi koji se rade na tečaju omogućuju da se na lakši način prepozna energija otpuštanja tih trauma, bez obzira na svesnost. Možemo da budemo svesni nečega, ali da ti efekti u nama žive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, yes. So thank you for the question. Actually, this is one of the great things that when people are abused, most of the time they get used to it. It's sort of like you have some kind of a burden on your shoulders, and over the years you get used to it. So therefore, you can't even see that you live your life with lots of burden that is slowing you down, that is making your life harder. And during the class, because we are running these processes and clearing the body and so on, um, you start to sense that it starts to dissipate, or it's like a sense of relief. And a lot of people like reporting that they suddenly sense that they are not pushed down by these heavy weights of abuse that they didn't recognize they were like carrying in all their life. Um, yeah, so people will sense it that they released the abuse. Also, it's another thing that once you release these forms or any kind of form of abuse, um, the way you see things, it starts to change. Like, for example, if that was financial abuse, like the way you look at money, the way you look at business, the way you look at generating money, it changes. You start to have much more ease of seeing it like, and you start to sort of like recognize that you have power, you have the capacity, you can make it happen. Like you can make your dreams come true. So it's not just that something disappears and you keep living your life the same way, but as the effects of abuse are removed, you finally sort of like become closer to the infinite being you are. Finally, you become more spacious. You have more access to your power, to your capacities. You have more access to your knowing, your consciousness. So it's a really big change. Like after the class, we receive lots of positive feedback that people now can see their life differently. Now they feel they have the power to change their life, to create what they desire. Finally, they can know to those people in their life who were abusing themselves. Finally, they can stand up for themselves and and they get out of that sensation that they are wrong and the abuser is right. Um, and of course, oftentimes people report that certain kind of illnesses or states that were in their body for many years, now they are completely gone, cleared. They become healthy from that aspect of illnesses because what was causing that in their body was removed during the class. Thank you for the question. And the other thing is that you start to see change in your life because certain people who are, let's say, abusive, they won't connect with you any longer, or they will like live your life, or you will have the capacity to say no to them, or even leave that relationship or leave that workplace. Um, like you will have the power to stop the abusive situation and the abusive people. Because oftentimes people don't even recognize if someone is abusive with them. Any other question we have?
Ja moram da se uključim, evo svoje iskustvo da prenesem posle 3-4 tečaja sa Rokom i da kažem stvarno kako su to fenomenalni procesi i koji je Roko prostor za prenošenje i vežbanje i da koristimo te alate i podsticanje da koristimo sve te alate koji su stvarno fenomenalni za raščišćavanje tog nekog prostora koji godinama nosimo sa sobom, stisnutosti i moje iskustvo je da sam stvarno i na zdravstvenom planu i na finansijskom planu, na odnosu prema sebi, prema radu, na svim poljima dobijam veliko olakšanje i u hodu svesnost. Znači, ne moram da budem stalno u tim telesnim procesima, da bi mi se nešto menjalo, nego stvarno u suštini u momentu kad se dešava nešto, da eto za 5 minuta može da se vežbam, a kažem evo godinama vežbamo sa Rokom i za 5 minuta dobijam svesnost o tome koja je to energija i kako to procesuirati i kako to deluje kroz mene, kroz moje telo, biće i neizmjerno hvala stvarno Roku na njegovim tim tečajevima.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Voila. So,
Hvala, hvala. Da, suštinu da. Hvala, hvala.
thank you. Voila. So, for example, if any of you have any questions about the class, you can turn to Margareta or Vesna or Angela with your questions and or regarding the organization of this class, they can help you. So the date is the 13th to the 15th of March, and we will let you know about the location as well very soon. So looking forward to meet you at the class and what would it take for everyone to finally and for all eternity to let go of any abusive situation in your life? And what if so when you have these tools and clearings, so you of course you can use it for yourself anytime because everyone receives the manual and the audio recording of the class. So therefore, anytime you can listen it back or read it back and run those clearings again and again, and even run those processes on your body, on yourself, or, like the people who attend the class can swap with each other after the class. So there are so many possibilities to keep using it and never allow again abuse to affect you, to hold you back. Thank you so much. Thank you for the ladies and for all the amazing translation and questions, and to see you next time. Thank you. And we will send out the recordings. So,
Hvala.
yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. All right. So this Thursday we are going to have a evening class from 7 to 9 p.m. It's called Power versus Control. And it's all about that. For example, um, imagine that if, like from the very beginning of your life in this environment, most of people has no power, but everyone gets used to control. And from generation to generation, it's control, the way of controlling life. This is what's handed over to the next generation. But what control does, it creates less. It shrinks the situation. It makes let's say, if you try to control your partner, you make your partner less. If you try to control your business, you make your business smaller. So it doesn't, so it's not a generative energy. It's not a generative method. But when you are functioning from your power, not controlling something, but from your power, then things starts to work. Things starts to become greater and expand out. So control is killing your creations and power will generate even greater. So this is an invitation. We are going to have this 2-hour evening class online this Thursday. And please, if you would like to let go of the control and you would like to take your power back and start to work and use your power, then this will be an amazing evening class for anyone who chooses that. So if you would like to let go of control and let go of anything, any dynamic that is sort of like killing your creations, and you are ready to make your life greater, come and join us. Thank you, Margaret, for the reminder. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Vesna. Thank you, Margareta.
Hvala,
Bye bye.
ćao.